I'm Lee Spencer with the RacinBoys, and I'm here with Chase Briscoe. Not quite the finish you wanted, but it was a good week at Tulsa.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely disappointing to come here 2 years in a row and now miss the A main by one spot. But overall, we just our Monday night prelim night and the feature, we just missed the setup. And if we don't miss the setup, I feel like we're in a better position starting up front. We don't have to run the C main and start in the back of the B, and then I feel like we'd probably make it. But yeah, I felt like we learned a lot with this car, and it was a good showing for the Die-Edge folks. It's their first time getting in grassroots racing, and for them to be able to get national exposure on TV and be here and entertain clients and everything. It was an overall good, productive week, I felt like, obviously off the track and on the track. So come back next year and hopefully do one spot better and get in the race. But yeah, it was a good Chili Bowl. Like I said, I felt like we had really good speed. I try to judge myself off guys I know that win dirt races, and to be able to pass guys like Brady Bacon, Kevin Thomas Jr., Zach Dom, that goes a long way. And my personally, it gives me a lot of confidence that I somewhat know what I'm doing on this stuff still. So hopefully, like I said, come back next year and just be a little bit better and see what we can do.
What's the game plan as far as you building your open wheel program?
It's just tough. I would love, 2-3 years ago, I had the full-time deal with the sprint car and the midget, and it was nice, and then we just ran out of sponsorship stuff. So, I mean, if we had a sponsorship, opportunity, we would for sure be back full-time, not with me driving it, but with some young kid that we think would, deserve an opportunity. And I would love to run this thing more, because I feel like it would make it better when I come and race. I was just telling somebody the other day, it's really tough for us because we come here and we only race twice a year as it is, and you're racing against, Keith Coons, who races 60, 70 races a year with 8 cars. Their notebook is so big, and I feel like we learn so much every time we go on the racetrack. And when we do that, it comes back and bites us like it did Monday night, where we just take a swing at something and all right, it didn't work. Well, at a place like this, you can't have a bad race, let alone a bad night. So just need to race more, and obviously whether it's me driving or another driver, just building that notebook for our team in these cars would be a big deal.
On the positive side of things, you finally got your deal done with Stewart-Haas Racing. What kind of confidence you have going into your second full season of NASCAR competition?
I think this is the most confident I've ever been, truthfully. I feel like, I'm at not near the top of my game, but I feel like, in my stock car career, this is the best I've ever been. I feel like I learned so much last year, and I still have a ton to learn, but I just feel like I know what I need in the race car now, and that's the biggest thing. I know what every track race is like. I know what balance I need going into the races, and I'm confident right now. I truly feel like we can be a championship contender this year, and it sounds crazy, but I'm trying to win 8 to 10 races. That's the goal, and not that it's a failure if it doesn't happen, but that's truly what I'm trying to shoot for.
Well, you've lost the big three, so to speak. So now it's you, Allgaier, I guess no Gregson, but I think the field's a little more wide open for you to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, the Xfinity field is certainly watered down more than what it was last year. And not watered down, but when you lose 3, top-level Cup talents, it definitely makes it easier. And, people talk about the Cup guys coming down and running. Well, essentially, we were running against 3 of them every week. So it definitely opens up the playing field for us to try to win more races. But truthfully, I felt like at the end of the year, we could run with them every week, and it just didn't, close the deal out. So, yeah, it's going to be a good season, I think. I think you definitely are probably going to have kind of the same thing. I think the big 3, hopefully I'm a part of that. But, Allgaier is going to be good. Like you said, Noah's going to be good. Cindric will be really good too. And I think Ross Chastain is going to be a real threat as well. So it's going to be a fun year. I'm ready to get going, and, certainly ready to see what our new bodies look like or run like. We have a new body on the Xfinity side with the Mustang. So you never really know what you got. And especially now with the wind tunnel, we don't get to go wind tunnel testing anymore. So it's really a guessing game if we did the right thing or not. So hopefully we can get to Vegas, the first race that's a mile and a half, and be good.
I talked to Justin Allgaier, who is part of the announcement in Indianapolis Motor Speedway this past week. He basically said that after talking to his former boss, Roger Penske, that budget wasn't in his vocabulary when it came to the Brickyard. For a guy who grew up and was raised in Indiana, and as iconic of a place as that is, what does that mean to you, knowing that the place will not just be restored to, its greater glory, but will move to the next step?
I think Roger buying that place, obviously Roger has the respect for that place. He understands what it means. He's done it. He practically owned the place as it was on the racetrack. And, if you look at Roger Penske, I think anything he's a part of is successful. So anytime you can add an already successful thing as the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and add Roger Penske into that mix, I think it's a win all around. So I'm excited to see what happens. Like you said, budget's definitely not an issue. So the improvements to that place, not that it needs improved right now, but I think it's going to be exciting to see where it goes. Just because Roger, like I said, he understands the history, he understands the tradition of that place, and for me, being an Indiana kid, it's special as it is, and it's nice that a guy that understands what Indianapolis means to all of us is running the place.
All right, kiddo, you won the Roval, the inaugural event at Charlotte Motor Speedway's road course. What do you think about racing on the Grand Prix circuit at the Brickyard?
I'm excited, obviously. I think, if you would have asked me 2 years ago if I was excited to go road racing, I would have told you absolutely not. But now I feel like I'm a threat, at least when I go there. I feel like I can run up front. So I'm excited. It seems like these Roval things have always been good to us on the 98 car. And, not that our Indianapolis package with the high drag deal was bad, but we definitely weren't a threat to win. I think if you look at me and Cole, we ran 9th to 10th all day long and just didn't really have any speed. So I think as a company, it definitely gives us more competitive, and it's going to be fun to be a part of something different. I think, when we switched from running Charlotte, the Oval, to the Roval, it created a whole nother atmosphere and excitement, kind of like the same feeling this place gets. It's kind of an unknown. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and it's going to be fun to be a part of that. And obviously winning the first race of the Roval was a huge deal for me personally, and if I could win the first race in Indianapolis on the road course, it'd be even cooler. So I don't know. It's going to be neat. Me and Cindric were literally arguing up about it in the stands during the E-mains, whether or not we would kiss the bricks. He said there's no way you should kiss the bricks, and I said I'm not giving up that opportunity. So hopefully we get the opportunity to kiss them, and it'd be pretty cool.
After the announcement that on standalone races they're not going to do pit stops as we know them, have you had any discussion with your team what that might look like when you guys come in pit?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it, to be honest, but I think from my side of it, I think it's going to not really change the Iowa races. I don't think that really does much. I mean, it makes it easier on pit road. Obviously, you're not going to lose spots on pit road, and there's no reason to make a mistake on pit road. But the road races, it's going to change tremendously. I mean, if you think about it, there's going to be no strategies now in these road races as far as short pitting right before the stage. So if you're a good road racer, you're going to get stage points. You're going to win stages now, where before you would probably short pit and lose the stage, but then flip back around, and now you're going to be able to go for stage points and stay with your track position all day long. So guys like Cindric, I think, are loving it. I think it's going to be good for our team, but I think it definitely is going to hurt that underdog guy on the road courses. They're not going to be able to take a swing at things and try stuff. So I'm curious to see what it's going to do. Allgaier had a really good point yesterday. At Iowa, if the thing goes green from the second stage to the end, we're going to have a green flag pit stop. So what happens in that situation? So I'm sure there's some bugs to be worked out, but I'm sure NASCAR will get it figured out, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like.
Appreciate your time, Chase, and look forward to seeing you in a few more weeks at Daytona.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Thanks.